the video of the millennium, because that's about how long it takes for Toyota to release a new Land Cruiser and a new 4Runner.
Yep, Tommy, and today we're going to find out what everybody out there wants to know, and that is which one is better off-road.
And which one you should buy? Let's go hit the Moab Slick Rock Trail. Climb.
You good?
Did it fall off?
No.
Oh no!
Hey Tommy, both of these vehicles have the same tire size, 265/70 18s, except the 4Runner has Falcons and the Land Cruiser has Michelins.
And we're airing them both down using our Thor's Lightning Air Compressor 4-in-1 air down setup.
Yeah, it makes it quick and easy.
All right, so this 4Runner TRD Off-Road has a bunch of different off-road modes and features I can engage, starting of course with the low range, which I do by moving this little slider to the 4L position. First you gotta wait for high to engage. It's one of the little quirks on this thing I'm learning. All right, 4 high engaged, now we can go into low range. There we go, 4 low, so that's awesome. Now I can engage MTS or multi-terrain select. I'm gonna put it in the rock setting, because that's what we're going to be traversing over today. And then we also have crawl control, which is a number of different off-road, essentially cruise control settings. And if I really need it, I can also click on the rear locker.
Just like the 4Runner, the Land Cruiser has different drive modes. I'm going to go with rock because, well, we're on rock. But unlike the 4Runner, this has full-time four-wheel drive plus a locking center diff, a locking rear diff, and check this out, a sway bar disconnect, which should make my ride a little bit more plush and maybe give me a little bit more articulation. All right, Tommy, so how are we going to figure out which of these two is better off-road?
Well, we got a number of obstacles out here in Moab that will test approach angle, departure angle, traction, and of course locking diffs, that sort of thing. So first up, we have the chin scratcher, then we have the frame bender, One Tree Hill, the ass scratcher, and then the penultimate, we have the wall.
The wall, Tommy, no, not the wall.
Exactly. But first, we got a nice little cruise down this amazing slick rock to get where we're going. Now, Dad, first impressions of the new 250 Series Land Cruiser, what do you think?
You know, I like this vehicle. A lot of the automotive journalists have been giving it a hard time, but I think off-road, this does very, very well. And it has tons of power. I'm looking at 326 horsepower, 465 pound-foot of torque, and that's because, Tommy, it's a hybrid.
Land Cruiser standard hybrid with a standard full-time four-wheel drive system, which I absolutely love about this vehicle. This TRD Off-Road 4Runner is only available with a part-time four-wheel drive system. Now, I have the same 2.4-liter turbo engine, but this one does not have the hybrid system, so I'm making do with 278 horsepower, 317 pound-feet of torque. But the best part about these engines, which no one is talking about, is the peak torque delivery happens at just 1,700 RPM. So when you're out on the trail, you've got gobs of low-end grunt without having to rev up that little engine.
Hey, you hear this sound? That's the 4Runner crabbing.
Yeah. I know you and your full-time four-wheel drive with a center diff is all fancy and bougie, but this 4Runner is something like 550 pounds lighter than that Land Cruiser, even though they ride on the same TNGAF platform with the same 112.2-inch wheelbase. Because they don't got that hybrid system, this 4Runner is a little bit more nimble.
All right, well, it may be a little bit more nimble, but it's also a lot more affordable. So I'm looking at $78,000 for this first edition, Tommy.
Yeah, that's crazy money. But you can get a base Land Cruiser for about $58,000 after destination, which happens to be the same price as our 2025 4Runner TRD Off-Road with the premium pack. So base to base Land Cruiser to this 4Runner, pretty similar.
Hey Tommy, how's your dual climate zone?
I don't need dual climate zone when we are out on the rocks here, Dad. What you need is a slightly nimbler vehicle, and even though they have the same wheelbase, this 4Runner is about 1.5 inches shorter, which I'm now realizing doesn't sound like very much, but every inch counts when you're out on the trail.
Well, you got that part right. Every inch does count.
I will say, after driving both of these back to back, I like the seating position a lot more in the Land Cruiser. You've got a much more vertical upright windshield that allows you to see out the front just a little bit better. Plus, you sit a little taller than this 4Runner. This new 6th generation 4Runner is a really tall hood.
Uh-oh. Whoa, I just hit. Apparently, they don't have enough ground clearance for that obstacle.
Yeah, so I've seen a couple of different numbers quoted for both 4Runner and Land Cruiser ground clearance. Now the common number you see quoted is about 8 inches for that Land Cruiser. I just ran out of ground clearance too on this 4Runner. But the real world is every manufacturer measures ground clearance just a little bit differently. And all of those Subaru guys saying that their Subaru Outback's more capable than a Land Cruiser because Subaru says 8.7 inches or whatever, 9 inches on the Wilderness, are just wrong, because that Land Cruiser's got great wheel travel, great articulation, and a lot more protection than a typical crossover.
I like this Land Cruiser a lot, Tommy. It's just so easy going out here on the trail. I feel like I'm really relaxed. I feel like this connectable sway bar is giving me a really, dare I say it, supple ride. It just is eating this trail up, and I'm not getting a lot of head bob, and I'm just really enjoying my time out here. What's it like in the 4Runner?
It's been awesome. I feel like I've been a little jaded because everyone's been so negative about this new generation online, but you get it out on the trail and the low speed power delivery is so much better than I was expecting. The clearance, the articulation feels awesome. The steering is super precise. I mean, it really is just slicing this trail up like it's nothing.
Well, we've come to our first obstacle, which is the butt scratcher. Now, you want to come and take a look and see if I actually scratch my butt?
Shouldn't it be chin scratcher as well? Because it's a great test of approach and departure.
Yeah, it's a V-notch, so it does both.
The nose of that Land Cruiser is really tucked up nice and high, and there isn't as much of a chin spoiler as we have on that 4Runner, which we'll talk about in a second. So there goes the first edition. Is it going to scrape the front end?
Oh no, no scraping.
So that is a 31-degree approach angle, and the departure angle at 22 might be a slightly bigger issue.
Oh! Oh!
Jeez.
Ooh, lot of scratching there. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch.
Oh, your diaper fell off.
Wait, my diaper fell off.
Oh no, the diaper fell off. Bummer. Oh, it has seen better days. Look at that. How about the exhaust? How's that looking? A little crunched, but that's not too bad. First bit of trail carnage.
Oh, we got first bit of trail damage. Look at that. Oh. Yeah. Well, that's all right. Farther we go. So that was a good test, Tommy, because it actually showed us just how much departure angle I have, and apparently not enough.
22 degrees is not enough, but the 4Runner's got 24. Maybe that'll be enough. All right, it's pretty cool on this camera. I can see exactly where your wheel tracks are, and I'm gonna try to replicate you exactly. All right, so officially the 4Runner has an 18-degree approach angle, but that's because it's got this huge low plastic trim, which we pulled off. Helps with fuel economy. Let me show you that now. Before we hit the trail, we gotta get rid of the snowplow underneath the front end of our 4Runner, and just like that, it comes off. All right, maybe not that easy. There's actually 8 10mm fasteners, but it only takes 3 or 4 minutes to pull off. All right, so with the spoiler off, let's see if I scrape my diaper. Oh, way better.
You don't have a diaper.
No diaper, no problem. That's gonna be my parenting technique one day, I think. Seems like a good idea. Leads to other problems I've heard though. Anyway, this 4Runner, you know, kind of scraped its exhaust like we did on the Land Cruiser, but you know, we walked through that with really no difficulty. All right, here we go down that frame bender. We got this big drop on a really steep decline. So come a little driver, Dad.
This is always nerve-wracking because you don't really know when you're going to go over the big step.
You got 6 feet. You're looking good. That front end is all the way. Pulling it down. All right, you got another 3 feet. Yep, 2 feet, nice and slow. Keep going. You got another foot. 6 inches. Here we go. Hold on.
And now let's see if we hit. Oh, we hit. Oh, we hit. We're going to hit the fun, I think, on this one.
A foot. 6 inches. 3 inches.
Oh, we hit.
Nice.
That's nothing that 35s wouldn't fix.
Took the hardest line I could there. Whoops. Now I gotta do the same crap. Oops.
All right, Tommy, come on down. Frame bender now. Let me ask you, how many miles do we have on our brand new 4Runner?
35.
How are we doing this at 35 miles on a $58,000 vehicle?
Oh, well, it was your idea. It's your check you wrote. And by the way, we didn't get a discount. We're not being paid by Toyota. We paid full price for this 4Runner. These opinions are ours and ours alone.
As always, all right, you've got about 2 feet now. Keep coming, maybe 1 foot now. Okay, about 2 inches. You're about to go over.
Titanic moment here. Oh, little hit there. Let's see if I can get the rear a little smoother than you did. Now, my dad dug his nose into the rock at this point. Let's see if I do the same. Oh, nice. Good work, Toyota. How about the tail? Ready for the tail? The pristine exhaust is...
You got about an inch. You're going over.
not pristine anymore. You can hear the spare tire against the rock.
It's funny, the 4Runner hits more on the exhaust, whereas the Land Cruiser hits more on the hitch.
Yeah, just kind of where things are tucked away back there. But look, guys, that was not bad for a stock vehicle straight out of the showroom. 35 miles on it. I think we did great. I also think we have one of the lowest value 4Runners now on the country. So good work, TFL. So we've done a lot of going down, Dad. Time to go up. Let's go tackle One Tree Hill.
So I've already figured out one thing, Tommy, and that is we need bigger tires.
Yeah, we need more aggressive tires too. Toyota calls these all-terrains. I would describe them more as kind of rugged terrains. So they do offer, you know, good grip for daily driving, and they offer good grip for mild off-roading. But especially like in the wet, these AT3WAs, they're not the full-on AT3Ws, do struggle a little bit, and those Michelins are even worse.
Yeah, and I got a feeling like other journalists have written this pony hard and put it away wet because it's a little loosey-goosey. But the fact is, look, you can get a Bronco with 35s, you can get a Jeep Wrangler with 35s. These just look puny for out here in the wilds of Moab.
The good news is there's about 900 aftermarket part manufacturers already working on solutions for lifts and that kind of thing. So they're already out there, even on these new 6th generations. One thing which I love, Dad, which I did not expect to like as much as I do, is I don't love the look of this huge screen that's kind of tacked onto the dash of this 4Runner. But having such a big screen with these high-def front cameras means that I have a much better view out the front than I've had on previous generations of 4Runner, and I kind of love it. Really, they really stepped up their camera quality, and it's actually, for the first time in the 4Runner, it's a useful camera system.
Tommy, I'm gonna lock my rear diff for One Tree Hill.
Boring.
You're not gonna lock your rear diff?
I'm going to try it open, see if we have the wheel travel to keep all 4 in contact, and then if we don't, I will lock it up.
Mine's just blinking, so I'm also open right now.
It's a Toyota rear diff. Between now and the next 500 miles, it will lock.
Yep, still blinking. Still not locked. Oh, come on, Toyota. Let me put it. Oh, it just locked. There we go. You're right. It locked. All right, I am locked. So you're gonna go open. I'm gonna go locked and see if you can do it in open. It'll give us a good visual of the 4Runner spinning its wheels.
Well, I do want to see if, like I said, we actually have the contact patch to do this articulated section. without a locker, and then I will click it on if I need to.
I go with the old off-road rule that it's better not to get stuck than it is to get stuck. Now, the part about this that makes it so tricky is not only is it steep, but there's this tree that people hit all the time, as you can tell, because it doesn't have any bark on it. And so when you start spinning your wheel, you start easily drifting toward the tree. So that's why, this not being our vehicle, I'm just going to lock it up and easily climb up this hill.
Looking good, Dad.
Oh yeah, that's a little bit of wheel spin there, but with locking rear diff, no problem. 4Runner is next.
Beautifully done.
But let's see the difference between a locked rear and an unlocked rear. Let's see how you go.
Or the difference of over 500 pounds of weight with this nimble little 4Runner. Here's the thing about this engine in this 4Runner. Everyone is all upset because it's a 4-cylinder. Gosh dang it, it's a 4-cylinder. How could they do that? Listen, the old engine was great for the 5th owner past 280,000 miles. But for the first couple owners, when maybe reliability doesn't matter as much when the car is new, it was only fan. That's all it sounded like. It was nothing but fan. This engine doesn't sound great either, but God, it's not like the old one was a 5-liter Coyote V8. Like really, and the power difference on this one, especially at altitude, is huge. It's so much better. All right, let's see if we can do this open diff in the rear. So we're gonna take it nice and slow. We're gonna make it as hard as we can for the Toyota. Oh, cool, look at that. That's the brakes engaging and actually getting us up. So in the old 4Runner, you'd have to push a button.
You did it without locking the rear diff.
No problem. In the old 4Runner, there was a button called A-Track, which was advanced traction control. In this new one, you stick it in low range and it's just kind of active all the time. And it works awesome. And it was so much faster and smoother than the old system. I'm really impressed with that.
So Tommy, I have found some kind of annoying things that I think Toyota needs to work on. Maybe spend a little bit more time off-roading. I'll give you the list. Here are my top 3 annoying things. And tell me if the 4Runner does this as well, okay?
Okay.
Number 3, my screen keeps switching to navigation instead of where I have it, which is in the off-road mode, showing me, you know, which way I'm going and what's obstacles in front of me.
Yeah, my camera does keep shutting off as well. A little annoying.
Number 2, my screen keeps displaying VSC turned off, pre-collision brake system unavailable, as if I didn't know that.
No, I managed to clear those messages on mine, so they're not coming back.
Yeah, I cleared them like 5 times and then they always come back.
Okay, what's your number 1?
And my number 1 is the little, it just came back. I cleared it and it just came back. The little indicators for when you're in 4-low, when your center is locked, center diff is locked, when your rear diff is locked, could possibly not be any smaller.
It's minor, but okay. I don't really have that issue because I don't have a center diff lock, and I don't need my rear diff lock because this thing is a beast.
But they're still teeny tiny, dude. Come on, this is some pretty critical information. And I would say, I'm gonna go by millimeters. I would say that my little 4-wheel drive center diff lock is maybe 2 millimeters, 3 millimeters.
Listen, if the worst thing we can say about these vehicles is measuring them in a matter of millimeters, I think they're doing pretty darn well.
I am gonna lock the rear diff, and you can see how big the indicator is. There it is. Look at that. It's like an ant farting.
So we didn't do a research,
do you
and we
mean?
can't remember if this is chin scratcher or ass scratcher.
Well, you scratch both.
So this is also what Andre calls the Mr. Plow, or Nathan calls Mr. Plow, because you end up pushing sand out of the way.
All right, well, let's see how much of a scrape I leave. I'm gonna call it ass scratcher.
Okay.
Coming off the ass scratcher. All right, here I go. You know, Tommy, you know what the best thing about this one is?
What's that?
That we only own one of these cars.
Nicely done. Come follow the driver, Dad. Too far past the
All right, here comes Mr. Plow. Oh, this tests approach angle, or the lack thereof.
Nice work.
That,
Oh, pretty good.
yeah, but this is gonna get ugly right here.
You took your diaper off.
That wasn't too bad.
Not too bad.
That was all right. I was worried for nothing. Of course, we don't own this one. Toyota owns this one, so. See, Toyota, no damage. It's all good. That little plastic part that came off, it's just, I'm gonna blame Jason on that one. He knocked it off and put it back on. Yeah, Jason, not us.
This thing has been so good. Everybody's gonna say I'm paid for by Toyota. I'm not even a Toyota person. I've never owned a Toyota personally. I'm actually more of a Land Rover kind of guy, which is quite the opposite of a Toyota. But man, they just almost no notes with this 4Runner. They just killed it. It is so good out here.
One more driver, please.
All right, let's see. Try to take the same line
One more driver.
my dad took. Oh, yes. Look at that. Let's see what that degree is there. Toyota's inclinometers max out at 30, but we consistently hit over 30 on these videos. Oop, there's the tail. You know, some scraping there, but not too bad. He hit more bumper. I think I hit more hitch.
How many miles?
36 now, I think.
Oh, great, 36.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, are we sure we want to do the wall?
Yeah, we got to try the wall. We have to try the wall. That's what we've been excited about.
The wall does damage.
The wall's not going to do damage.
The wall is hard.
We'll take it slow. We'll see what happens.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, meet the wall. This combines everything that we've been doing. Breakover, approach, departure, traction. It's a very hard obstacle because you can get hung up going over this first hill and you can get high centered. So, Tommy, what is your strategy? Come on down here.
Well, the key is you got to pop the front wheels up on top of the wall. So you got to take it with a little bit of momentum, and then you got to get on the brake or at least get off the gas because it gets super rocky near the top. So it's a great little obstacle here.
So are you going to lock up the rear diff?
Yes.
All right, and you're going to use crawl control?
I might just have to give it a go.
All right, I'll just use my big toe and see how I go. All right, here I go, Tommy, going up the wall.
Let's see what happens.
This is an obstacle that Jeeps and Broncos fear that are lifted and on 35s, and here we are in stock Toyotas.
Showing what a Toyota can do here, Dad. Oh yeah, keep it going, keep it going. Nice. Oh, that was awesome, Dad.
Oh, I feel the pain, Tommy, for the Land Cruiser, but hopefully it's got enough body protection that no damage was done. I think I tapped one of those rock rails on the Land Cruiser, but that guy has these, well, they're side steps really. They're not rock rails, they're not sliders, so I'm a little worried, hate breaking new things.
So one thing, Dad, which I wish Toyota would include as standard on the off-road trim is rocker protection. Jeep is really good about this, Ford is okay about it, but Toyota not so much. We got the stupid steps, so we're gonna try to keep them off the rock. All right, here comes crawl control. Crawl control engaged. Come on, 4Runner, let's get up the wall. I'm in the 4th setting of crawl control, need a little bit of momentum. Let's see how this goes. Come on, Toyota, come on. Keep it going, oh no. Okay, now this is where I gotta be careful with the step. How's that step looking?
It's okay, but we
Let me get realigned here. I'm ditching crawl control. I'm gonna 2-foot it. Let's see how the 2-footing feels. Really good control. Come on, 4Runner, come on. I let off at the wrong time, Dad. You want one more go? Oh man, I look like an idiot out here.
You're hung up on a skid plate where the gas tank is.
Okay, so should we go more to the right, you think?
Yeah, come a little bit more this way.
Okay. You ready? Okay. Come on, Toyota. Climb.
You got it.
Did it fall off?
No,
Oh no! Is it all bent up?
I can't tell. Go to the top.
Okay.
I can't tell. Go to the top.
Well, the right line was the way to go, but we had to sacrifice a side step. Yeah.
Let's look.
Oh yeah, look at that. It was a side step mount. Well, it's a little crooked, but actually that held up really well.
And the, yeah.
Wow, look at that.
And you hit down there. You hit the,
Oh yeah, control arm.
yeah.
Yeah. That's
and,
okay.
And the skid plate on the gas tank.
Yes, that has definitely been hit. It's doing its job though.
All right.
Thank you for your help.
Yeah.
So the key was to come further right, sacrifice the side step a little, but we got up.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it would be nice to have
Rock
a slider.
bars. Yeah.
As opposed to a side step. But it held up.
We started out this video asking which of these two is better off-road.
I think the wall answered that, Tommy.
No, I think that your better driving and better line answered that. I personally, I've driven both off-road. I like the 4Runner more. I think it's a little bit more nimble, it's a little bit lighter weight, and even though the sight lines out the front aren't as good for the price, I just think it's a better off-road vehicle.
All right, the question is, which one would you buy?
Well, that answers that question too. For me, that exact 4Runner, the TRD Off-Road without the premium package, get it for about $51,000, which is a lot of money, but that's the one I would go for. Or get the base Land Cruiser, the 1958, and put some rubber on it. How about you? Which one are you buying?
Well, I think we answered that already. We own this one, and Toyota lent us this one. So I think that's pretty much all you need to know, guys. They're both really nimble, and I gotta say, for all of you hardcore Toyota Land Cruiser fans, we own the old 200 series Land Cruiser, and it was
And it was awesome.
it was a wall.
It was awesome.
It was a wallowy pig
It
off-road.
was awesome.
Even with our lifted old man Emu.
Can I talk to you off mic?
Yeah.
If you say anything bad about Land Cruisers, bricks will start flying through the wall. It was the greatest vehicle ever made. Period.
It was a
There you have
wallowy
it.
elephant.
Well, folks, let us know what you think in the comment section below. Which one of the two do you prefer? This has been Tommy.
And Roman.
We'll see you next time. Head over to alltfl.com.
Ciao.